السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, today it is Tuesday the 13th of Rabi'ul-Awwal 1446, matching the 17th of September 2024. This is our session number 51, going through this book titled Al-Mudhakkirah, the reminder regarding Tajweed. And yesterday we finished the rules of or the subject of pausing al-waqf, when to stop when you are reciting the Quran, and the different types of stops. Today it is a continuation of the subject, is a new one, but then close relation to stopping. It is al-ibtida. Ibtada'a yabtadi'u ibtida'an. Ibtada'a is to start, to begin, to initiate. So now, to begin the recitation, the initiation of the recitation. Now, before we talked about stopping. That's the book talked about that, the Sheikh rahimahullah ta'ala. He says, now ينبغي على القارئ أن يلتمس حسن الابتداء. The reciter of the Quran, he should seek to start the recitation in a good way, a good start, good starting, good initiation of the recitation. كما يلتمس حسن الوقف, exactly like he would seek to pause, to stop at a good place, at a good stop. والابتداء قسمان جائز وممنوع. The start, the initiation of the recitation is of two types. One type that is allowed, another type that is not allowed. Just like the stopping, allowed, not allowed. Starting also, starting the recitation is allowed and not allowed. Let us start with al-qism al-awwal, the first category, al-ibtida'u al-jaiz, the allowable starting, the allowable initiation of the recitation. وَهُوَ نَوْعَانِ, he said it is of two types, تَامٌ, complete and perfect, وَكَافٍ, sufficient. As for the first one, which is al-ibtida'u al-tam, the perfect, complete beginning of recital or recitation, هو الابتداء بمقطع تم معناه. It is for you to begin with a piece, with a sentence, with a part of the Quran that the meaning of it is complete. The meaning of it is complete. تم معناه غير متعلق أو غير متعلق هذا المقطع غير متعلق بما قبله. It is not linked to what is before it. لا لفظا ولا معنى. Not in terms of wording, meaning here, the wording here, لفظ, meaning linked or connected in terms of grammar rules. So you don't start with a verb and leave the subject of the verb, or verb and subject and you leave the object, right? And it's not linked also in terms of meaning. Yani that piece itself has a complete meaning in itself. He said كالابتداء بأوائل السور, like starting to recite from the beginning of the chapters. ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه, like beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah. Or Al-Qasas, beginning a story. Right? So you open up the Mus'haf and you start from a story, like كذبت ثمود المرسلين, that the Thamud, they disbelieved, they belied the messengers. أو أول تقرير الأحكام, or at the beginning of establishing, affirming rulings, like Surah An-Nur, الزانية والزاني فاجلدوا كل واحد منهما 100 جلة. The adulterer and the adulteress, lash each one of them 100 lashes. If you begin at this, you are beginning with something, right? Rulings that are just starting. أو, although the surah begins before that, سورة أنزلناها وفرضناها, right? That's how it begins. But then maybe you recited that part. So now you came you begin from here, it's okay to begin from here. Because it is, as he says, the meaning is complete. It's not directly linked to what is before it. Right? It's not directly linked to what is before it. Not in terms of wording. There are no words that are left from the previous sentence. And it is not connected in meaning. It's just starting to tell us about the ruling of the adulterers now. He said, أو أول ذكر الجنة والنار, or at the beginning of mentioning paradise and the fire. أو أول ذكر صفات المؤمنين, or at the beginning of mentioning the attributes or the qualities of the believers, like, for instance, وأصحاب اليمين ما أصحاب اليمين. So you are reciting Surah Al-Waqi'ah. Before that, you were reciting, you started reciting the surah, and you recited the beginning of it, Muqarrabeen, and like that. Then you stopped at the end of the Muqarrabeen. Now you opened up again, وَأَصْحَابُ الْيَمِينِ مَا أَصْحَابُ الْيَمِينِ. So it's talking about a new thing. So it's a good start here. أو الكافرين, or a beginning mentioning the kuffar, like in Surah Al-Baqarah. So you recited the beginning of the surah, ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى. Then وأولئك هم المفلحون. Then you went somewhere and then you came back. Now you want to start to recite again. You open up أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. You start إن الذين كفروا سواء. It starts to talk about the disbelievers. Spoke about the believers, is finished. Now beginning with the disbelievers. It's a good start. أو المنافقين. Maybe you finished reciting Surah Al-Baqarah up until سواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على, to the end of the description. Then you went. You came back. Now you begin with المنافقين. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين. Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 8. So this is called al-ibtida'u at-tam, the complete perfect beginning of recitation. Beginning of recitation. You start with a piece that the meaning of it is complete. It's not linked to what's before it. Not in terms of the grammar, yani no words that are left there. So you're not starting with the subject and you left the verb. So قال الله إني معكم, you left. Then you came back. You start الله إني معكم. قال الله, where is قال? Right? So you need to, that's the verb. You need to connect it. And it's not connected in meaning. Right? It has its own separate meaning. Secondly is al-ibtida'u al-kafi, the sufficient beginning of recitation. هو الابتداء بمقطع تم معناه. It is for you to start with a piece that, or a section, an ayah, that the meaning of it is complete. وتعلق بما قبله معنى لا لفظا. It is linked to what is before it in terms of a meaning, not in terms of wording. So wording here, once again, in terms of grammar, you're not starting with the subject and you left the verb. There is a verb, a subject, and an object. You left the verb and the subject and you started with an object. So you have piece. There is a piece that's there left. You don't do that. Right? So this is now ibtida' kafi. So sufficient. The meaning is complete, but then there is a link in meaning. So probably it talks about the people of paradise. So it said they are like this, and then they are like that. So the meaning is there. You're starting with something that is okay in itself, but it's still linked to what was before. So he said, مثل الابتداء بأولئك على هدى من ربهم. Such are upon guidance from their Lord. يعني سورة البقرة in the beginning ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم. So now maybe you started reading, you read those ayat. Now you open up, you want to read, that's where you start. If you begin at such are upon guidance from their Lord, the meaning is complete. The meaning is complete. They are upon guidance from the Lord. But it is linked to what was before it. It was talking about the believers, right? So it's linked in meaning, but the piece itself has a full meaning there. It's not like cut off, right? It's not cut off. You're not, for instance, starting with Hudan min Rabbihim. Such are, where is such are? Right? That's linked in terms of grammar now. Right? طيب. والابتداء بيخادعون الله والذين آمنوا. Same thing about the hypocrites. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا. So this one has a full meaning. They deceive Allah and the believers. So you are leaving the piece about وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ amongst the people. So it's describing them. Yes, it is linked in meaning, but if you start from there, the meaning is complete also. Likewise, الابتداء ب وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْذِبُونَ. Same thing. They have a painful torment because they used to lie. It has a complete meaning, but it's linked to the description of the hypocrites. والابتداء ب ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. If they are told, believe like the people have believed, they say, should we believe like the fools have believed? Surely they are the fools, but they do not know. So if you begin at ألا إنهم هم السفهاء, this is a complete sentence. Surely they are the ones who are the fools, but they do not know. But then the meaning is linked to what was before, but is not linked in terms of grammar where the sentences, piece of it is here and the other piece is there. This one is called what? Kafi, sufficient. So the first one is better because it's perfect and complete. Waqfun tam. This one is kafi, sufficient. Right? Sufficient is okay. القسم الثاني الابتداء الممنوع. The second type, I know there is a few minutes left. Inshallah, we'll just begin and we repeat again tomorrow, inshallah. القسم الثاني الابتداء الممنوع. The second type is the disallowed starting and initiating of the recitation. وهو نوعان, just like الوقف, two types. One of them was what? لا, this is ممنوع now. We did the جائز already. This is ممنوع. The وقف ممنوع was قبيح وأقبح من القبيح. Ugly and uglier than ugly, if you remember, right? This one also is like that. You have ابتداء قبيح, an ugly starting of reciting. وهو الابتداء بما لا يعطي معنى. That is to begin with something that doesn't give a meaning. كالابتداء بالفاعل دون الفعل. Like you start with the subject, the doer of the action, and you don't mention the verb. مثل الابتداء ب, like starting with, you are reciting Surah Nuh now, and the ayah says قال نوح رب إنهم عصوني. Nuh said, oh Lord, they have disobeyed me. That's what it means, right? Now if you begin with نوح رب إنهم, right? قال نوح, Nuh said, my Lord, they have disobeyed me. And now you're starting with Nuh, they disobeyed me. Where is Nuh said? Where is said? Right? So this is qabih. Why? Because ugly, because it doesn't give the meaning. It should be Nuh said. But it's saying, Nuh, my Lord, they disobeyed me. What's Nuh, my Lord, disobeyed me? They disobeyed me. والابتداء بالمفعول دون الفاعل. Or you start with the object, مفعول, دون الفاعل, without the subject. So you have a verb, which is telling you there is an action happening. You have the doer of that action, the subject, al-fa'il, the doer, the one who performed the action. And you have maf'ul bihi, maf'ul, the object. And that is that thing which the action was done to it. So you say, قرأ فلان أحمد الكتاب. قرأ أحمد الكتاب. Ahmed read the book. Right? Ahmed read the book. So if you start with, let's say, قرأ Ahmed read the book and found it to be a good book. Right? Ahmed read the book and found it to be a good book. So you go, you forget Ahmed read the book. Ahmed read. You go, the book, and he found it to be a good book. Does it make any sense like that? The book, and he found it to be a good book. What's the book? Where is Ahmed read? Right? So like even in English, it doesn't make sense, right? So this is how it is. Like, أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين. Have you seen him, the one who belies, denies, rejects the religion? Right? Have you seen him? Right? Have you seen him? So you are the one who sees. You are the subject. Seeing is the verb. Him is the one who, you are seeing. You are seeing him. He is the object of this sentence. So, have you seen him who belies the religion? So now somebody starts reciting from the beginning and he goes, the one who denies the religion, the one who rejects the religion. Where is the ara'ayta? You don't have the verb, you don't have the subject of the verb, you started with the object. So you are cutting the sentence off and you're starting with a meaning that is incorrect. So tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue. We will start again from al-ibtida al-mamnu' inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.